Let it be seen in our giving that we are Adventists. Let it be seen in our coming early to church that we are Adventists. But in real sense, we are not Adventists. We come to church, we are connected to the source. But really, the source is not on. We are not yearning for a deeper experience with Jesus. And so that is what has been triggering my mind to share with you this message this afternoon. So that when we are all switched on and plugged in and switched on, then our light may so shine among men that our Father in heaven may be glorified. Somebody say amen. And so I took my time to check on how the trends of online evangelism have begun and how quickly it is running. And I've realized of some mistakes. I believe the communication director is here and you are going to be the communication director next time. And now that people are doing businesses around the world, as Seventh-day Adventists, we are not left outside. There is a way things are going online. So your businesses can also go online. So I want to teach you on, I want to share with us on how we can also advance on that other side. How we are going to be relevant in this century where everything is digitized. And so in this era, I have learned that, as I said in the morning, that the biggest mission field for this church is not physical meetings. We can come to church for a whole month and we won't see someone, even a single person, give their life to God in church. And that is very practical. For the past 4 Sabbaths, have we ever done a baptism here? No. Because the people who came last week will come next week, and then they will come with people, and then those people will just go as visitors, and then no impact. There are people who will visit us and go. We won't have a link with them. And that's why we have this chance. And there are many people who have really confessed and they have testified that because of your sessions somewhere and somewhere, this is the way I met my Jesus. And so I also agree that our biggest mission field as a church and as a family is going online. This is our biggest mission. And just in summary, I say that at least, as we speak today, at least 3 million people can access the internet, okay? And this has doubled. I told us around how many? 6 billion or so to the latest data that I have. So a number of people are able to access internet through either computers or medical devices. And then one of the things I got to learn is that of the people who are having phones, 64% of them are able to use internet. And so of that percentage, there are also a larger percentage that are just the same way I told us in the morning. They are able to access social media platforms. And by the way, even students who are still in school, when they come back and nowadays they use your phones as parents, they come back 1 week, they are in Form 1, Form 2, using their phone, they have already accessed a TikTok account, they already have a Facebook account, so they are able to access. So many people, even those who don't have the phones yet, can as well access these sites. And one thing I've realized going through the data that is available online is that at least every day, on average, of course there are some of us who take more than 10 hours in the internet every day. There are some who take 6 hours, and some even take 1 hour. Some are so busy they go and check their phone for 10 minutes, 15 or 30. But on an average, 4 hours a day, that is the average number of hours people spend on internet every day. 4 hours. Now, having this data, in 30 minutes time, I want to share with us the biggest mistakes that we do as a church, and I want us to find the best solutions for these mistakes that we do. in as much as communication is concerned, in as much as digital evangelism is concerned. And by the way, communication is very key, very key. Before every presidential address is made, then there are other people who are earning, because their work is to ensure that whatever the president is going to say is not conflicting any other thing. Even in the church, we have communication directors from the general conference, even to the local church, so that communication is shaped so that we share necessary and proper information. And one thing I realized is that as a church, we have poor quality websites. For example, do we have a website as Amazing Grace Church? We don't have yet. We want to go online. The world is going online. We don't have a website yet. We may have soon. And for those who have, as we speak, one of the things I've realized that as a church, because of our poor quality website, we need as a church to have a proper online platform. We need to have a proper online platform, okay? And then the proper online platform, for example, anytime I leave to a very strange place and it is almost Sabbath, and that this may also be happening to you. Maybe I go to Nairobi and then I am in a place I don't know, a church, or you've gone to a strange place, maybe somewhere in Italy. Currently, there are Google Maps and there are things being fed online and online. So one thing I do, like, where is the nearest church? You don't ask people things nowadays. Kanisa SDA iko wapi? Hapa, iko wapi? That is never happening anymore. You just go into your Google and then you ask, Seventh-day Adventist church around, and then the Google map will just pop through. Nakwambia kuna Amazing hapa, kuna Central pale, kuna East, kuna West. Which one? Distance. So all these things are online. So because people search our churches online, and we should be shining online as well, we should ensure that we have a proper online platform. And when we have a proper online platform, then for those who are using or interacting with the internet most of the time, there is a way you have to market your business or your product, okay? You cannot just come and show us this Amazing Grace Church. You cannot just come and show us the toilet or the latrines there, or show us the kitchen. That is Amazing Grace. The cameraman or the camera person will go right next to that gate and will try to slice the gate and show us that signpost. That will market us better than showing us this door, okay? So we must know what must we capture and what must we not capture, okay? If in case I was projecting, I would have shown you a photo of a door and you compare. Which one are you going to go for? People will always like nice and good things. People will always like nice and good things. And that's why, because you are the only English church around, you attract a lot of people, because is there people, will I find people I'm going to run with? Yes, there is an English church somewhere. So that alone attracts somebody. So how we present and how we make our website look is very important. And so people are going to decide whether they are going to be following our YouTube channel, or whether they are going to be following our website, or whether they are going to be going through the data that we share every day, depending on how our presentation looks like, depending on how we present our look, okay? Okay? So one of the things, when we have a website, or when you have a social media platform, maybe Facebook or any other thing, one of the things you've got to ensure is that you need to have photos. And they are not just photos shot on these phones. At least the photo, you remember somebody was saying the other day, and they were saying, yes, to the finance bill, they were saying that the people in the streets are using iPhone and something. So you don't just use these small phones to take photos and then you post in the church wall or in the website for the church, you need proper cameras, and they are not cheap. They are not cheap. And so, one of the things, and you don't just put a lot of photos, like I've taken a photo of Mama Christine there, and a photo of you, and all over the photos it is you, and your photo is appearing there 10 times. Somebody won't like it, they'll be bored the first time. So that is very wrong. That is a no to church website. And then number 2, you share with us, kitu imefanyika jana, like we have PCM weekend today, yeah, for the general conference. And then you want to share with us outdated content. You want to post PCM weekend tomorrow, and it has already passed. It is outdated. Same way, some people in some words, they post job adverts when the time frame that was set is already gone. That is not needed in this church. And so, and again, when you want to market yourself, yeah? Now I know you are senior people, and I'm also learning. One of the things I learned from somebody when I was developing my bio for my LinkedIn account, one of the things I learned is that you don't need to tell us about your long bios as a church. Long stories and long histories. People are not interested in that. People are not interested. I want my Gen Z or so, and they just want things that attract them, and they are the majority now. So avoid long bios, avoid long introductions. Okay. Advance as Amazing Grace. Okay. I need to advance. I don't want to give this example this early, but this is our church. When we advance, we'll be having a camera here. We'll be having another camera here. We are also able to have other machines that we are able to record and edit at the same time, so that when they go on air, we are not seeing blurry images, okay? No, you're not listening to that. Let me proceed. You will understand me before I finish. I must ensure that I don't mean it wrong, okay? Before I finish, you need to know. And when we have a website, and then when someone visits there and they like the work you're doing, then you must give them a space or a section. So that when a visitor comes, they say, oh, I was at Amazing Grace. That is a nice place to be. But some of you now, couples, you have gone to some outing or to a weekend date, and then your friend tells you, Gianni Beach Resort is a very good place. Have you been to that place? Yes. The word of mouth will not satisfy you, and then you go to their website, and then there is an hotel. Maybe it is Sarah County Club or Distinction Gardens. So what about it? People have gone there before, and there is a space for them. They say, oh, nice place to be, calm, nice bedrooms, nice everything, nice food. And then you compare those comments, and then you say, oh, so I'm choosing this over this. So we must always give people a chance to speak about us. How they speak about us will attract somebody. Somebody is going to come because somebody has spoken well about us. Maybe, oh, those people are welcoming. You see, they prepare nice lunch. And so always we have to ensure, even in your business, when your business is selling clothes, or when you people are sleeping, I'll finish very soon. I don't want to bore you. And that's why I speak mostly to students, so that they don't get tired. From the presence of the world all around, let us come. God is going to uplift us. So I'm saying this. So when you're doing a business, maybe on clothes or something, then you are going to ensure that the photo that is on display, and this you will agree with me, to those who have been to Airbnbs or what I use, or to these baby shops, yeah? Let me use baby shops, because this is what you can relate best to the baby shops. The photo you see on the screen or maybe on that business catalog is the best of all. Utaenda upate something close to that, but the photo is showing the best of all. Why must I tell us that? We need to be relevant. We need to be relevant. And we have to tell people about us. You're dealing with clothes. What else? What else can I get from you? You're dealing with someone's. What else can we get from Amazing Grace? Are there children session or a section for the children teachers? Are there drama there for the children? Do we have choir there? Is there music? What about choristry? So that is all you share from that place. And you also need to tell us how we are going to get you. Let me move quickly so that I don't waste a lot of time. A question that we need to ask ourselves as we want to minister to our people outside here through our websites. Why are we creating the Amazing Grace Church website? And what are our goals as a church? Okay? And so, what resources do we have? Who is going to benefit from this training or from this session? Okay? And you need to find time and check on you have a checklist on how things are going to work. Number one, when we have a Sabbath today, okay? When we have a Sabbath today, then it means the church bulletin, the program for today, should be ready at least by Thursday. We know this Sabbath we have a speaker from Kenya, really, or we have a speaker from USA, and this is the program that we have. This is how the program is going to flow, and which events do we have going forward must also be clear. And so, when you are running your online platforms, and as a communication ministry, we need to be sure of a few things. And number one, we need to manage the prompts that we get, or the comments that we get. We need to respond to them. When someone says, Happy Sabbath, following from California, and then you need to respond, you need to welcome them, you need to respond to them, okay? And then when someone makes a comment, we need to respond. And so we need to promote. When there is a banner or a flyer, now we have a camp meeting. The posters are already out. I'm told there are a few posters that are already out, and the flyers are already out. What do? We need to share it widely. You don't just sit on it. You need to share it so that other people can also get to know about it. This is very important, and it may sound like it's not making sense to you, but it is important in as much as our work toward making the three angels' message reach out to the rest of the world is known. And so another thing that is very important, and this is one thing I said in the morning, I made an example with software. Let me make an example with Always. These are sanitary pads that have been used over and over, and many people use them throughout the world. And one of the things I learned is that when they tag things like hashtag, like a girl campaign, they manage in a very short time to get the highest number of viewers, close to how many? Is it 89 million within 1 month? Most probably. I'm not sure. But I think I noted it somewhere, so I can simply confirm very fast. So these people, globally, the video about Always, the sanitary pad thing, gone through the world, and it has been viewed by 90 plus million people up to date. And that advert reached and it earned fame in all the social media platforms, over 11,000 media platforms. People just sharing and sharing. And people were impressed. Over 4 billion people were impressed about this very post. Now, why must I share this? We need to be relevant. And when this was shared, even men, of the men who watched, 60% commented, and they say that their perspective about the girl child changed. And what makes our campaigns or our movements become successful? Number one, we must always be clear on the needs of our audience. As a church, same to how we handle our programs. We must know what does our church need, and that will also see us through the programs that we have, okay? And how do we meet these needs, okay? we must use promos, we must promote something. For you to sell something, you need to promote it. You need to have nice videos, and you need to have people writing about it positively. And so, through our YouTube channel that we have, that I was asking you to really subscribe to and work towards making it better, we need to ensure that we are going to be successful when we know our audience very well. Our audience love quality. Our audience love proper and nice content. Our audience won't stay online for long, okay? So when you have 4 or 5 hours video, don't expect a lot of people to watch it, okay? Don't expect a lot of people to watch it compared to a 10-minute song, and you've got to be unique. Let me make, I just want to share this and then we summarize on this because I'm going to take much time here. Now, going with the trends of music in Kenya, in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, okay? Now I want you to help me see how people sell their music. Just in case you premiered your video yesterday, and then this other group, I was checking on the trends on how the singing groups share their video online and how fast they spread. So there is this group, it's called Heavenly Echoes. One of the things I learned about these people, they want to attract you before you get to the music, okay? And so they use vocabularies that sometimes you are not going to understand the first time. But when you go into those songs, you only hear them sing about that thing once. For example, there is this song. Which song? Yeah, Kwanzaa, and they come from the Bible. There is a song they have titled Yambre. That is one. That was the start of their rise when they were coming. And then there is another song. You know these songs. Can you tell me very fast? There is another song, Tanzu. So, what about Tanzu? Somebody will ask themselves, what about Tanzu? So someone will just watch because of Tanzu. Someone will watch because of Yambre. Someone is going to watch, which one? Kitalu, because of how Yambre or how this other song came. So you hear those words, you want to learn, what does this really mean? Okay? What does this word really mean? And then what is their target? And you get to the song, and then you have them earn a lot of people viewing their content. And this is what I must tell us today. That was introducing us to this very thing that I must tell us today. The Bible records in the book of Matthew chapter number 10, verse 5 and 6, that do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter a city of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, okay? That is why we are mopping up the digital platforms, so that we go to the people whom we are not able to reach. And friends, Jesus is giving each and every one of us a target audience. And so, our target audience are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Jesus is sending you, Jesus is sending me. And so, when you already know your audience, you are going to be able to know which platform to use to reach them. You are going to know the format you are going to use to reach them. You are going to know the best way you are going to present your information. You are going to know the most relevant content to share with your people. This not only applies to the gospel, this also applies to your areas of work or your business. When you want to sell something online, you have to be very relevant and you have to really understand your audience pretty well. And the questions that you must answer before you venture into this as a church and as an individual in wherever you are, you have to know, what is the age bracket that I'm targeting? Are they the ambassadors of Amazing Grace? Are they the ambassadors of Stay at Town? Are they the youth? Are they the married couples? Are they the elderly? Whom am I targeting? What gender and which ethnicity? If this content is going to be relevant to which race or language or interests. And that's why you hear, sometimes the church has a business expo Sometimes we have Dorcamo doing a lot of cooking classes and something. Sometimes we have marriage and family for the married and even for those who are not married. And so, do our audience have a Christian background? Now, when they have a Christian background, what level of truth should you share with them, okay? And what is the age range of these people? What issues are they facing? You can't come and share a message that is outdated or that is long gone. You have to be relevant. What challenge do you have now? Now the challenge you have is the finance bill, okay? And the tough economic times that we are facing in our country. The message you want to share so that people may find comfort and might learn from the Savior must be addressing current issues of this world. And so, when you are sharing something with me or with something outside there, it is different how you are going to share it with elder here and different from how you are going to share it with someone else here. What is their Bible knowledge? How much do they know the Bible? You must also know that before you share. You must answer that question. And which culture do they come from? Before you tell somebody anything and everything, know where do they come from, okay? So when we fail to understand our audience, then we are going to be speaking in vain. We are going to create unreliable or unrelatable content. We are going to lack connection with them. You cannot connect with someone when the information you are sharing with them is not relating to them. They are not going to, we are going to experience very shallow relationships, and we are not going to find results. When we want to reach 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 viewers in our first song as Amazing Grace, then when our message is not relatable to people, then we are not going to find the results that we need. And so it is essential that we not only communicate clearly, but that we also take the time to deeply understand our audience. It doesn't matter if you know what you mean. Put yourself in your audience's shoes and speak to them accordingly. Speak to your audience in a way and with the words that enable them understand and connect to your message, okay? And so as a digital missionary, take time to figure out what your audience wants. And this applies to what you share on your WhatsApp statuses and what you share on your Facebook status and even to all those platforms, okay? And so I want to bring this to a conclusion because I don't want you to get so tired. I want to share with us something very important even as I come to a close of this presentation. We will have a next time. And one thing I have to advise us as a church and share with us as a people who are business oriented or who are exploring online platforms is that when you have an online platform, you don't need to fight online, okay? When someone talks to you badly online, know the best way to manage it right there. Don't be shana online. That will make people look at you differently. Even as a church, when you share content and it is controversial and people are somebody, amid the good comments, somebody is coming with a bad comment on that. You'd rather not comment. You'd rather not respond to that. You'd rather keep quiet. Or you have the powers to manage and monitor your platforms and the conversation that are taking place. You can delete it because it is going to affect you in a way. And if there is a way you misrepresented a truth or something, then you have the time to come back with another video or another presentation that is going to explain much of what you had already lost. And so you need to take time always, even in your charts or in your contents, everywhere, so that you monitor properly your content, okay? When you fight online, then we are killing the gospel story. When you fight online as a church, then people are going to turn away our faith. They are going to tarnish our name and tell the Adventists to be a bad faith. where people are just fighting. And when you fight online, then people are going to look at us and they are going to be venting our frustration about the church online. And our church is going to create more harm than good. And friends, it makes the one fighting. Now, when I fight you and you fight back, then you are going to be like you are hypocritical. You are not really a Seventh-day Adventist. And so it is going to hinder the work of the online missionaries. And so, as a family, as sons and daughters of God, we need to engage with idea. Do not attack a person. Do not take comments from strangers personally. Don't take things personal, okay? Most of us take things personal in the social media. Don't take it personal. Do what is right. And friends, respect people. Respect people, and you are going to earn that very respect. And one thing I also learned is that as a family, in our preaching, in our teaching, as we share the gospel of Jesus Christ, you need to accept correction. We need to stand. We need to stand to be corrected. Stand to be corrected all the time. Do not mislabel or misjudge or name or call individuals who disagree with you. Okay, and you also need to know. The same way in your house or in your workplace, you need to know what time to respond and how to respond, okay? And you need to show grace to people, even in church, with the leadership and with the management of the church. We need to show grace to those who are leading us, even if we don't agree. For example, an elder makes a comment here and it is not adding up with you. You should always show grace and understand that we are all human, okay? And one way to manage not only negative comments or negative feedbacks in our lives, even with the communication department, is that we need to try and understand what is the attitude or what is the personality that I'm addressing. What is their attitude? And we should always try as much as we can. If someone is just too much, they just want to sell you badly, ban them from accessing your page. Because there are thousands of people who want to access that very page that they are going to make not to follow you or to lower your following, okay? And so most of the time, one thing that I realize in the church and our church is that we don't want to pay for quality work, okay? So long as we have this one camera and we can live stream, we are satisfied. This camera costed over 100,000. Getting money is not easy. But then, when our communication director or the communication team uses the resources that we have to do quality job, our work is to sell it. You cannot go and be giving them cash or something. You need to pay them by sharing it outside, by subscribing, by liking the work they are doing, and by appreciating them. I must remind you that as a people, always in the church, we don't want to pay for quality work. We don't want to pay at all. It takes time and money to create quality online content. For people to watch Citizen TV more than KBC, then it means the content they share is timely and quality. Do you agree? Yeah, it's timely and quality. And even how those videos come, they are quality. Now let's compare. It's not bad comparison, but it's very important. When you go online now, and then you watch onto the content that is being shared, we are totally different people, but the content that is and the quality of messages, the videos that we get from New Life SDA Church and Lavington SDA Church, and how they flow, it's quite different. Okay? We are headed there, but I must tell you the truth. We are headed there, but they are different. And that is what is making them to be high now, and we are still where we are, okay? Okay? So that is the truth of the thing. For somebody to follow you
somebody is not going to follow you when somebody, even in your status, when you are posting on TikTok, just leave that video there. When you are posting on TikTok, you are posting something and you are copying somebody who is singing. Maybe you are copying anything. Remember when they came here to sing, and then you are singing Down in Glory, and then it is already Down in Glory, and then you are following it around. Those things are not matching. Who is going to follow that content? And you are down in glory and you are in vest. There are no things match. Now, those people who are following, when you want people to be relevant, whatever you want to get, those in the world now, they share what relates to what they look like, okay? So when we look at Adventists, then we share what looks like Adventists, okay? We have to be very relevant. Now, that's gone. There is a time when Amazing Grace is going to be high somewhere in technology. We are just 3 years old. You can't compare with churches that are over 40 years. We are just a few years old and we are headed there. So I'm saying it takes time. We must take our time in the church. And it takes money. We need to sacrifice to have quality cameras, and these are not lights for live streaming. And even in your house, when you want to start having contents, you don't use bulbs, okay? When you go to a photo studio, now people who are going for baby showers and those shots, when you go to a studio, then there are lights that are being used, okay? No pate mwisho mmoja, then there is a way. Now, quality comes with spending, okay? For creating graphics. Now, for you to have a poster, quality poster, I'm not a graphic designer, but for us to have quality posters, you will always see when we have a committee and our poster. And mostly this local church, you cannot compare what Amazing Grace is producing plus Ochio. Remember Pastor Julius talking about Ochio. You cannot compare Ochio and Amazing Grace. So the poster they are going to produce for the camp meeting is totally different with what we have. Okay? So the graphics and the quality is very important. They cost money. It is not cheap. Thank God you may have people who are doing it for free, but for quality stuff you got to pay. For editing our video, for us to have a video that is matching, for us to have a video that is quality, we need money. And for us to have nice photos, nice storage, just the other day, our ministry, we were buying hard drive. Is it a hard drive or something? Hard drive, okay? And for a transcend, is it how many GB? 8 GB. It costs 23,000. No, 8. Yes, 8 terabytes, 23,000 shillings. So it is not cheap, and it is just a small thing for storing data. So people are wondering, why must we spend all this money? Because we need quality stuff. And that goes to software. For these videos to be edited, you can just come with your phone right now. I can just go Facebook, and then I start speaking and people are seeing me. Okay? And then at the same time, I can just have this camera connected to the laptop there, and then we stream. There are softwares, okay? The same way you go to a studio. After taking that photo, it is being edited, okay? The one, kuna mtu hapa, kuna madam hapa, bwana yake anaitwa Wesley. He works in a studio. And after taking the camera, the husband gets to the computer and edits that photo so that you have some black white, some are the way you like them. Now, and people must be trained to do these things, okay? Anybody can do. No, God is saying He is able to help us gain the skills that we need, okay? So people can train, and training goes with money. And in our advertisements, and let me stop there. I've just shared a lot with you. Now, people need to prepare, and all these things costs money, okay? Costs money. For you to manage an IP address, or for us to feature top in the IP addresses, okay? IP address is simply internet protocol address. For us to feature top, you Google amazing and then Grace SDA Church CIA comes. Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried that? You go to Google now and then you search Barack, who follows Obama. And when you go to online, you go to Google now, you look for Leah, will your next name come? So we need to feature, we need to be, like you go to YouTube now. You go to YouTube now and then you look, utafute, or Google, utafute Gen, then Z will come. Because Gen Z have occupied the space. Everyone, who is Gen Z? Who are these people demonstrating in the streets? So the much we are focused on making our websites grow, the much people tap you and they get you right there. And you go looking for me, you will take some time. You will find a lot of people because people were already gone there. Yes, we are others, okay? So there are ways we are going to have our online mission work. Number one, we have to have a proper budget. And we have to offer products. How are we going to fund it? As a church, we need to develop a budget that is going to work. And that is this department. I don't want much on that because we may learn of that next time. And we need to offer the products and services so that when we give us a product, then somebody supports us, okay? Just the other day, a t-shirt goes for around 500 shillings, right? The other day, Saints ministers were having 10 years or something, okay? And the other day, KMM were also having a silver something. And in those t-shirts, a t-shirt goes for roughly 500 or 600, a jumper goes at around 1,000 or something. But because you are buying a product branded with their name, then you have to pay extra, okay? Yeah, and you will buy because you want to associate with people like that. You will buy because you want to associate with such like people. So I want to end my presentation there by taking us back to something very important. As we share the gospel of Jesus Christ online mostly, we are going to win much more people when we testify of Jesus Christ. There are things you can share. And by the way, in the ministry of Jesus Christ, most of the time, he used to tell stories and he used to use the stories and those heart-transforming stories to minister or teach important lessons in life. Why must we have heart-transforming stories to our listeners or to our church or to our children? In the morning, we were talking about the Samaritan, yeah? The Samaritan and that story, okay? And we were reading from a text, but the children were trying to relate with what is happening actually on the ground, okay? Now, as they relate, then they pick up those lessons and they learn them instantly. Now they know that there is a time when even as Seventh-day Adventists, there are things we don't want to have. There are situations that we don't want to have because of excuses of I'm late for Sabbath school, I am a church leader or something, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. But a stranger somewhere comes and helps out. And so we have to relate to the listeners. And number two, we need to do things or to share things that the believers are going to understand. And so, Christ Jesus, even when he was speaking in parables, and at all times the enemy always provides a counterfeit so that we may all be lost. But then Jesus Christ is always a nice man. His methods never fail. And so, as we tell our stories going forward as Amazing Grace Church, it was a communication Sabbath and I had to tell us something about communication.
We, as individual, you can have your own blog platform as Dr. Biko here, no, as Elder Biko here, and you can also be running a podcast of your own. You can having an individual YouTube channel, and you know several people have it, okay? You can be having online small group. You can be writing articles every day, because not all of us are going to be standing in the pulpit to preach every Sabbath. Not all of us. But you have some information that you need to share. I wish I was here. There is a time I learned about something. I went to some conference and I learned about something. There are things that people don't want to publicly relate with, okay? Like now, somebody wants to learn about Sabbath, but they don't know the right platform where they can be taught. They cannot come to church to be taught about the Sabbath. They cannot come. They cannot close this because people are going to see them, okay? And they cannot watch YouTube because somebody may be listening around them, and they don't know who is really telling the right thing. And so, have you ever seen these things, the QR codes, okay? So they are papers like this. You can easily develop it when you are an IT person. We are not all IT people here. I'm not one. But I've seen of cards, and I think I can also do one. You ask somebody in the front here, which is the day of worship, okay? It's just a card. You can have them somewhere around there, and then as people leave the church, there is a gift. You just give somebody to take to their friends wherever they are. You didn't invite them to the worship, but they just take them. A number of gifts to them, and then behind it is a QR code to the Amazing Grace website where that article was posted. Maybe it was done by Elder Biko here or yourself. So when you scan this QR code, you are able to learn to that right platform where you need it, okay? Or as someone was shared here, somebody has no time to listen. They are not fan of listening to sermons. But then, because this sermon was written down, or this sermon was scripted, there's churches where you go, and then there is somebody seated somewhere in the communication department. Their work is to write, to put into writing whatever the speaker is saying. When the sermon is done, they are also done. And then it's edited and it is being shared, whether it is a Bible study or something. So when someone goes to our platform, they are able to access our sermons, not only in writing, not only in videos, but also in writing and in articles. Those are some of the things that we are going to use to reach out to as many people as possible. Sons and daughters of God, it is my sincere desire that in as much as we are going to struggle to have Bible study sessions, to have prayer cell meetings every week all the time, as much as we are going to plan to have children camp meetings, in as much as we are going to plan for cooking demos, we need to take them online so people can also learn these things. When we have a Vespers worship, we should stream it live. When we have things like overcoming addictions and all that, there are people who want to overcome addictions. They are not here. They are online in the other better percentage of people who are not here. And the question and answer sessions, these are sessions that people really love, and they will always be participating in such platforms. Finally, as I come to a conclusion, as we conduct our Bible studies, as we share our information as a church, for us to be leading online platform or online evangelists throughout the world, we need to try as much as we can. Even though technology is risky, especially when we are trying to connect with people in different parts of the world, it is really difficult because it requires just a lot of things. We need to try and put the following 5 things into practice. Number 1, let us be creative for one. Let us be creative. Let us use attractive slides. When you make a slide and the other person makes a slide, depending on the topic or subject you're presenting on, there is going to be one slide that is going to be eye-catching and more attractive to people. And mostly, you will see people attentive throughout a presentation where slides relate to the presentation that they are following. You don't just take an information, a message on Revelation 13 about the woman robed in white, and then on that message you put it on a woman robed in scarlet. Message not matching. We need to be proper in how we present our message, and we need to engage those whom we are contacting. And then as much as we can as a church, that's why we have lesson classes every day. We need to keep small groups. Why? It is going to help us know who is participating, what is their need, and how are we going to help them. And we need to be purposeful, and at all times we need to repurpose our words, our content, okay? Yes. And so I want to come to a conclusion that I have come to realize that as a church of God, as a family of Amazing Grace Church, we may be in church, yet really, inwardly, we are not active. It is time to call upon Him who is the fountain of life, He who is the giver of everything, He who is our sustainer, so that He may give us life again. Amidst the storms of this life, there is a way we can impact positively the lives of men and women. And always, when we are relevant and when we are up to date with our information, we are going to appreciate this, that the word of Jesus Christ is going to be fresh, and people are going to be yearning to listen to the word of God all the time. Sing them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see, the wonderful words of life. Words of beauty, words that have power to save and to bring people to Jesus Christ. Let you not forget that during the times of Noah, God used him to present a message that the world as we live, same as today, is really bad. Like, things are not right. People are complacent. People are living carelessly. But even amid the careless times, there are people who are having this message and they can save the world. Just like Noah, we got to be very relevant. Even though people are going to look at us as if we have a mental disorder, we have to ensure that we relate well to the message that we have as a church. Friend, this message of the kingdom must be preached to all corners of the world, and then the end shall come. And friends, we don't need to just exist. We need to live in Jesus Christ. We may be dead, but there is a sure promise that in Him whom from all the blessings flow, we can live again. He can give us the power. He can give us the courage, so that with courage and with vigor, we may go unto all the world and visiting every IP address, so that the gospel of Jesus Christ may be preached and everyone may be drawn to Him, so Christ can come as soon as possible. Amen? May the God Lord bless you. May He keep you. Thank you, and I pray. Thank you, Father Lord, for this afternoon. Thank you for speaking to us one more time. I am not worthy to stand before your children, but you, over and over, have always given me a chance to share with your children. They may not be as many, but Father Lord, may you use this message through them to reach out to the many people. May this message not only help us in furthering your cause, but may this message also help us advance our businesses, advance all the platforms that we run for the sake of your gospel, so that, Father Lord, we may minister to you not only in our businesses, not only in our personal life, but also in ensuring that our influence is right and that everyone is reached with your message and with the gospel. As we live here,